よしよし。フィニッシュ。カモン。楽しいな兄弟。防壁展開。よしよ。みんなでカモン。楽しいな。よしよ。マジやめ。マジやめ。もらっデコイ射出。デコイ射出。フィニッシュ。導き。よしよし。楽しいな。ほらほらほらほら。見たかね我が兄弟。私の勝利だ。悔しいかね。どうだね。
Through the overwhelming efforts of the Kabukicho outlaws, a momentary opening is cut through the enemy line. And in that moment, Nyarlathotep uses his teleportation power to whisk you away to somewhere else. I'll accept these gifts, and then do an AR summon. Oh, a 4-star. Let's see what I get. Abyssal Confectionery. I'll just see which characters I can equip it to, and then I'll start achieving a higher state of being 2. Fire and Nether. Alright, now we can begin. Achieving a higher state of being 2. There was once a single young street cleaner on duty who was a bit slower to process things than most others. One day, he met a certain experimental test subject, a rodent. That rodent was more clever than he. That rodent had progressed beyond him. So impressed was he with the rodent, in fact, that he decided then and there he too would undertake the same experiments. He wanted to be faster, to process the world around him at a greater clip. That, he believed, would make everything better. Within an experimental operating room in the future world of Utopia, one of the 23 worlds connected to Tokyo, an acceleration experiment was conducted in collaboration between big industry and academia, and it was poised to revolutionize everything. That project's name, along with the 2 cyborg buddies involved in its undertaking, was Algernon. It came to be by pairing a human and a rodent who'd both been subjected to intelligence acceleration experiments. Prediction complete. Targets will appear starting from the right, then from above, then from the left. You ready, buddy? You don't have to be so loud, Mouse. You're right by my ear. I've already taken care of them all anyway. What have you got next? Algernon's performance is said to be far beyond that of any other test subjects thus far. It's rumored that before his targets even appear, he's already fired all his shots and readied his stance for the next round. Compared to the old models, Algernon is leaps and bounds ahead, due in no small part to his existence as two beings in one. Up to this point, cyborgs have all been fitted with acceleration devices that allow them to act much quicker than human consciousness allows. Their speeds are so fast that their clothes even burn up as they move due to atmospheric friction. It's truly a revolutionary technology. Agreed. Truly revolutionary. Yet humans are never satisfied quite so easily. They want more. They want to be able to cross from the third dimension to the fourth, into the realm of time. Initially, the goal was to increase computational power exponentially in a bid to increase the capacity for intelligence and reasoning. But getting from there to accelerating time itself proved a Herculean challenge. Humans have semicircular canals in their inner ears, specifically to perceive 3 dimensions, but lack any physical means of perceiving time in the same manner. To put it another way, a single human cannot separate awareness of the present and future within themselves. Should a single individual be presented with too much future data, they will no longer be able to tell which is which between present and future. This resulted in numerous test subjects succumbing to madness, but through their heroic sacrifices, the newest model cyborgs have come into being. In the case of the buddy system employed with Algernon, one of the 2 individuals in control processes present data, while the other processes future. As such, the 2-in-1 cyborg is capable of transcending time. Nowhere does there exist another who can think ahead faster than this duo. As it turns out, however, this revolutionary acceleration testing has a rather terrifying side effect. Anything accelerated must experience recoil after all. That applies to the new type cyborgs just as much as it did to the old. An intelligence accelerated must always inevitably then decelerate, and the deceleration may bring it down to speeds far lower than before the experiment began. And the dread that comes from losing something bestowed weighs far heavier than if that something had never been given at all. Basically, to have loved and then lost that love is better to have never loved at all. That's what it reminds me of. So is that why you lot are in with the rule makers? With that world representative from Utopia? Sparks fly between Nomad and Algernon as the line is pulled back to the future city. Nomad reflects upon the clues he's gathered thus far in his capacity as a Tokyo detective. That's right, we're helping with their experiments to advance the technology and find some way to curb our intellectual decline. And that justifies kidnapping our boss and abducting a whole gaggle of locals at that. It does. And from what I hear, the experiments that influx of test subjects has made possible have already begun to bear fruit. I see. That explains a lot. Explains why you've all seemed so much more desperate than usual, if nothing else. What? You boast about your new model, but you think you can really keep it together when an even newer model comes about? Meddlesome detective. What have you unearthed, sniffing about in the rulemaker's nest? The fighting continues between the Mega Alliance of Guilds and the Rulemakers, with unusual behaviors continuing to come into focus. Gunzo! Kyuma! Stop this! Is my voice not reaching you? Daisuke Ikusaba, also known as Taurus Mask of the Ikebukuro Berserkers, desperately cries out to his schoolmates, trying to get them to listen to reason. As a fellow athlete, he understands just how powerful the recoil will be, and how much of a toll it will take if they continue their current line of attack. Yoyogi Academy in Shibuya Ward is the school Daisuke attends, where he practices wrestling and spends time with so many dear friends. Among them are Gunzo Tamamura of the rugby club and Kyuma Nakatsugi of the baseball club. Though both of them are app users, as far as Daisuke is aware, they've both actively distanced themselves from guild battles. Additionally, Daisuke is fairly certain that none of them are sacred artifact users, but rather transient users. Essentially, rather than employing sacred artifacts in battle, they both fight by way of separate transients who reside within them. Old lab results suggested cohabitant summoners to be particularly well suited to future transplantation, but this confirms it. With Sanzo and the others, and now even Baphomet gone, Professor Onyankopon is the only one still remaining in the operating room. But this is not just any operating room. It employs a number of technologies brought over from the world of Utopia. As the previous century drew to a close, technologies from all 23 other worlds were integrated into Tokyo's homegrown tech center, opening up a whole new realm of possibilities. Professor Onyankopon now mutters to himself as he rereads the past thesis from the terminal in front of him. Algernon is just like you, two consciousnesses in one, each keeping the other in check. Truly fascinating. But that may not be the only reason. Is there some connection to Tokyo's master rule as well? The majority rule. No, that's not important right now. I need to focus. Let's go back to that fascinating case study. Sanzo Minarikawa. Although his sacred artifact blocked the procedure, his physical compatibility is as high as it gets. Suddenly, World Representative Onyankopon begins laughing, not in exasperation and not with any ironic sense of defeat, but with great delight. What a rush! Humans truly have nearly limitless potential, don't they? This could be our big break. The breakthrough to usher in the future we seek. It's at around this moment when the call for reinforcements from the other world representatives fighting on the front lines pops onto Onyankopon's app. You're pushing yourself awfully hard, don't you think? I'd say you're about to reach your limit. Masashi Shinbei Inoue, who commands the Regiment of Tokyo residents, flashes a smile that looks, for all the world, to be as pure and innocent as can be. If you want to run, I don't mind. Go ahead and run. It's not as if you're all enemies.